Cool. Thanks, guys. So before I start, I actually have two quick things to say, so hold that clock on me, dude. So in 2006, my then co-founder and partner, Robert Rich, and I hosted the first Boulder New Tech Meetup in our office in Boulder, and it was 15 people. And it has clearly grown not only in Boulder, but in a lot of other places since then. I think it's now twice a month, 300 people sold out in Boulder, and clearly you guys can see what's going on here. So that's just incredible, and I think Brett has done an amazing job bringing that from Boulder here. So, you know, I know you guys gave yourselves a round of applause before, but do not underestimate the power of something like this, right? For startups to grow and thrive, it's all about community and getting entrepreneurs together. And this is one of the first ways to do that. So thank you for inviting me, and thank you for doing that. Seriously, dude, Fred. No bullshit, dude. This is serious shit. The second thing I want to say is when we scheduled this presentation, PivotDesk had planned to be in Seattle. And unfortunately, we are a startup and have not made it to Seattle yet. But I really did not want to reschedule the talk. So I'm going to go through the talk and ask for a little help from you guys at the end. So hopefully we can be in Seattle soon. So, my name is David
the clock
Mandell.
was started a while ago. When you're here, boop, boop,
Okay,
boop, boop,
I
boop,
totally
boop, it means your 5 minutes is up.
Anyway.
We love you, but we'll let you know when time's up.
Yeah, and by the way, on Q&A, as Brett was saying before, I welcome Q&A. I enjoy it, and I am open to any and all questions, PivotDesk, startup, whatever related. You just shoot away, and we're all good. So I am David Mandell, and I'm the CEO and founder of PivotDesk. And PivotDesk helps entrepreneurs find room to grow their businesses. Now, when Brett sent me the email about being here presenting, he said, no PowerPoint, no keynote, it's about demo, so I'm going to fly naked with a website. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, if you're tweeting, it's hashtag STMeetup, flying naked.
At DG Mandell, 2 L's, yes, we're going. So as any of you in the audience know, if you've tried to start up a business on your own, starting a business is incredibly freaking hard. And one of the biggest and most stupidest barriers you face when you're trying to start a business is simply trying to figure out where the hell to put that business. That's incredibly stupid, and that's why we started PivotDesk. So to kind of give you an example of what we're talking about, I'm going to pretend I'm a startup here. And let's see, I got 3 people, maybe take some angel funding. I'm a social, local, mobile platform for interactive friending. And we're in New York, and we've got a few of those, I met them. So we've got a little angel funding, and we're in New York, and we're looking for a great place to work, but there is no way in hell we can afford a lease in New York. So I'm going to hop over to the PivotDesk and check it out, and I'm going to learn a little bit about it. I'm going to realize that what it's really about is about a per person, per month flexible license agreement. It's not about a desk for a day or a week or a conference room. It's about finding room to grow my business. So I'm going to do a quick search in New York here, and hopefully my wireless is working. I'm going to see a whole bunch of great listings of other companies that have excess space. And I'd like to be in Flatirons, as in just about every other company in New York would like to be. But clearly there's no way I can afford that on my own, so luckily there's some great people with spaces already in Flatiron. So I can go down the list, I can check it out, I can check out some of them, I can see what's going on, and I can kind of click on one, and I can learn a little bit more about that company. Because when you're a startup and you're sharing space with someone, square footage, exposed brick, and location doesn't mean shit. What matters is a collaborative environment where I can grow my business. So I can go here and I can learn a little bit more about, where am I? Bright open space, I can learn about the company, I can learn about the culture, I can learn about amenities, I can see what the house rules are. Because I'm sharing spaces about what they care about, right? Not what I need. If this looks good, I'm going to say, all right, that's kind of cool. So I'm 4 people. I'm going to go down here, and I'd like to start December 1st. I can click here, and I can ask a question. Because again, this is about, do our cultures match? Does it work for me, right? Can I bring my dog Sydney to the office? Underwear on the inside or outside? Whatever it is. And I'm going to ask it a question, and I'm going to apply to them. I'm going to tell them a little bit about myself, right? So I'm going to cheat a little here, and I'm going to hop over to my dashboard. So this is the PivotDesk dashboard because we actually use PivotDesk in Boulder. We've got 3 companies in our space. And now you get a feel for what you get on the other side. So what we try and do here is build all the tools that a host company needs to market, manage, and monetize that space for as long as it works for both sides so they can focus on their business, not being a landlord. So some key things here. I can see I've got a request for my space. I can click on that request. I can learn a little bit more about the company. Here's the revenue. Here's how many people it is. Last payment. Here's the person, right? I can go deeper on that. If I like them, I can approve the application or not. But I get more information about my space. Here's how much revenue I'm driving each month. Maybe enough to hire another developer or at least bring on a contract designer that I've been trying to bring in, right? Here's my revenue for the year, so how much space I have left. Here's my space. I can go deeper on that space and I can see who else is in my space, right? I can promote it. I can see what's gone on. All my communication history, document history, financial history, it's right there. Oh, here's the companies I share my space with, and I can go deeper, right? Here's Bird Box, here's my main contact, Ben, here's how many people they are. If I want to see who else is there, I can click here and learn more about them, their social profiles. I can email them, connect with them. So that's the basic tool platform. But what's neat here is, as my company grows, let's say Socio, Blow, Mocal, whatever it is called, goes Instagram, and they need more space. They can take space, more space than they need, which you know every startup's going to do, and they can use PivotDesk to drive revenue on the space they don't need until they need it back. No one's locked into long-term commitments that neither side likes. This is about a relationship. We build all the tools that both sides need to easily market, manage, and monetize this space. We know when you're trying to do a startup, the last thing you want to worry about is office space. You should be completely focused on building that startup. That's why we built PivotDesk, room for growing businesses. Am I good?
Awesome. This is for you. So who has an awesome question for PivotDesk?
Right over here, right over here.
Shoot it away. Yes.
How you doing? I'm Steven.
Hey, Steven.
You guys are building, obviously, a two-sided market here.
Yes.
Any tips for anybody else in the room who might be building a two-sided market?
Yes, run, do not walk in building a marketplace. Marketplaces are incredibly hard. They're all unique because you have 2 audiences instead of 1. Dealing with 1 is hard enough. So the advice I would give you is there's a lot of good writing out there on building two-sided marketplaces, what works, what doesn't work. But the real advice I would give you is get to know your customers. Go meet them. Understand what they're doing. We talk to every single customer on PivotDesk right now. We understand their pain. They actually drive our product roadmap. But that's really the best advice I can give you. Understand their pain and build what solves their pain. Should I just answer, or are you guys choosing? Okay, right in front.
Hi, so I cheated a little bit. I just came from New York in this past year, and so I've been to some of the co-working spaces. And actually, the thing I would look at most is not who's in the space now, but who was in the space and what happened to them, because there's co-working spaces with track records of breeding success. So how do you incorporate that into your metrics or profile of the space?
Right, so very good question, and my answer is we don't actually work with many co-working spaces. These are not co-working spaces. These are other companies, other startups that have excess space that simply want a good, like when you're trying to build a dynamic growth business and to slam it into a static structure like real estate, if you're going to sign a 5 or 10 year lease, you know you're going to take more space than you need right now, right? Because you're going to plan to grow into it. Currently, the only option for dealing with that space is some kind of restrictive sublease, which both sides hate. If you all of a sudden start growing, you need that space back, you can't even get it, right? So this is what PivotDesk does. Yes, so existing companies, leaseholders that have excess space, we match them up with companies that need space, give them all the tools they need to manage the process. Yep, right back here.
What about 2 companies that say don't have a space, but they want to enter into a space together, like as a joint signer of some other lease? Can they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can send applications together as long as the company you're sending an application to has room for enough people, right? So if you're 5 and they're 3, we have companies with room for 10 or 20 people, both apply at the same time and say, hey, listen, we love your space, but we want to be with this company we know they'd applied to. So it's actually simple.
And that's it for time for questions. If you have any more questions,
Wait,
you
we
can
have one
find
more
them.
question, and
Okay.
we need a Flash volunteer to come plug in.
All right. One more?
One more question, then you give me 2 seconds. I'll talk to Seattle. Yep, go ahead.
Oh, right
Mike,
here.
I didn't see anything on there talking about the different infrastructure is available in, such as networking?
I'm sorry?
I didn't see anything on here about infrastructure that's available in these facilities, such as networking and...
Yeah, so the host posts house rules. When you have extra space and you want to list it on PivotDesk, it's basically completely up to you. You say, here's what you get, here's what you don't get, and you price it accordingly. It's all market driven. Thanks. So as they're cutting me off, I'll say the one thing I'll ask about Seattle, because we would like to be here, is if you go to the pivotdesk.com website, there's a little link there for active communities. If you click on Seattle and tweet or list your space or upload your space, the more activity we get, the sooner we'll be here. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Let's hear it again for PivotDesk, ladies and gentlemen.